Hey everyone, I've decided to make this honest review of Anthem's VIP and open demo. I had 25 hours on the VIP demo and 29 hours on the open demo. A lot of the reviews on Anthem have been, in my opinion, shit. They're reviewing it off of 4 hours of play where they say they saw everything. Well, even with all the time I sank into it, I was still seeing new types of missions until servers shut down. So after 54 hours of demo gameplay, I can honestly say that I thoroughly enjoyed the demos. I did have my run-ins with the various bugs many other reviewers are blowing up. The 90% load screens that randomly popped up in the middle of missions or on the tyrant mines. You know, that constant time where you're trying to kill the boss and your screen went to 90%. That was pleasant. I also had the unexpected client crashes and then I was unable to rejoin my squad. That constant, the server will shut down in 2 minutes message. That was always welcome, even though it never led to a server shutdown. During the VIP demo, I was able to turn off motion blur, but when the open demo hit, even turning it off on the settings wouldn't stop it. So that took some time getting used to. Wasn't looking forward to motion blur myself. But I get it. The demo had flaws. I would say surely not enough to outweigh the pros. I didn't run into the issue other PC users were having with the demo eating up their CPUs. The graphics were not at the level that the reveal trailer showed us, but I was still running around doing everything I wanted to do at ultra settings with 60 FPS, and that was with my res at 1920 by 1080. I do still consider Anthem to be one of the most beautiful games I've ever played. Gameplay for me was fairly solid. I had a very little rubber banding during the demos. Controls were straightforward, but I had to have everything brought down in sensitivity on my flying and swimming controls. I know swimming was a nightmare for some, but I found that small inputs on my mouse gave me excellent control underwater, and after a few times diving into every pool I could find, I felt like I was a real scuba Steve. Combat felt like a good balance on the Ranger, Storm, and Colossus. Between ability rotations and weaving melee hits and weapon shots on enemies, combat was even more enjoyable when you were using your thrusters to outmaneuver and outflank your enemies and drop out of the sky with a vicious melee slam. It was really gratifying getting into a Colossus and jumping into a giant group of bad guys and just, smashing them. It was real Hulk smash type feeling. It left me feeling like I was playing with very little dead time during combat, knowing that I could just dash in and dash back out at any chance that I could. If all my abilities were on cooldown at the same time and I ended up having to reload, it felt like that was the open window for me to dash behind cover and avoid the retaliation of the scars. Some of the best features I felt that we had was the combo system. I thought it was absolutely a positive. I played my Colossus as a primer machine, and the synergy with the squads I had felt amazing. A storm would set off a combo, and then another combo, and then it would just keep going. And the spread damage over time from that combo of a storm, just going to all the surrounding targets, was great. My own procs for combos as a Colossus were awesome. It does AoE damage to all the surrounding stronger enemies, and that fried the little guys pretty good. I did enjoy charging into melee and dashing behind enforcers to focus fire on their gas tanks when I was playing my ranger. It pumps out bonus damage if you hit their gas tanks on the backside of those enforcers, and it just felt like a real rewarding playstyle to get close in combat. You're in a vulnerable position, so you can get your butt kicked pretty good. I did feel like I was playing a little ballsy by doing that, but I knew that if I timed my dashes and cycled the cooldowns correctly, I could bring down the enforcers pretty fast with minimum damage. The risk versus reward felt really good during those encounters, though many times they did burn me to a crisp and stomp me down with that shield slam. I tried out the in-game voice chat, but had no luck getting it to work with my squad, but that still didn't take away from the great experience of working with strangers. The players I came across were pretty good on the demos. They seemed to have the basics down and knew to cover my ass while I got in the thick of the combat and suppress the enforcers and scouts and melee. So that was pretty good. I'm not sure how the matchmaking works exactly, but it felt like I wasn't being slowed down by any of the random squad members I played with in free play and stronghold. It felt very second nature to play with the squad mates and have them lay waste to the mobs while I used the Colossus to funnel them and prime those big combos. I noticed that the proccing combos would charge up ultimates faster, and for the Storm Javelin, that was just amazing. It was so much fun to just be able to pump out those ults on repeat. I am a fan of the customization they gave us in the demos for our javelins, and look forward to see what else the live game is going to have for us. I'm not a fan of microtransactions at all, and I'm always disappointed that it's pushed in every video game now. I'll do my best to unlock everything I can customize my javelins with by playing the game to see if any of the purchases are even worth a second glance. Anthem seems to be getting a lot of flack for carrying EA's tag, but I want to skip it for that. This game is excellent and flying around a javelin should be experienced by all. You get that awesome experience of being freaking Iron Man in a video game. I do hope you enjoyed this fight against an Ancient Ash Titan though. It was during the Red Storm event on Super Bowl Sunday. So that's all for now. You guys have a good one.